Welcome students. As we all know that we are studying a important chapter of biology, that is the tissue. Okay children, and we have discussed up till now about the plant tissue. So before proceeding to the chapter, I will have a small revision so that I can give you a detailed written work, or you can say short notes about the plant tissue. Let's have a small revision, or you can say recapitulate the all those topics and subtopics which had been studied by us in the last few videos. What is this tissue? Tissue is a group of cells similar in structure, function and origin. This tissue has been divided into what? Into plant tissue and animal tissue. Up till now you have understood all these things. A number of times I have revised, and this is the once again I am making you revised so that you get it learned by heart. What is this plant tissue? Okay, it is made up of tissues which is responsible for the formation of plant tissue, and it has been divided into two types, that is the meristematic tissue and another one is permanent tissue. I am getting it into a nutshell because 100 of times it has been explained by me. What is this meristematic tissue? That is capable of division. Cells which are capable of division, that is for the growth, and all those meristematic tissues who lose their ability to divide are the permanent tissues. Okay children, here I am dealing about the plant tissues. When it is completed, then we will start the animal tissue. We are proceeding with the plant tissue. Meristematic, now I am proceeding with the meristematic tissue. It has been divided on the basis of their location into three. Okay children, into three: apical meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue and intercalary meristematic tissue. Apical, which is responsible for the increase in length of the plant; lateral, which is responsible for the diameter of the plant; intercalary, which is responsible for the branching of the plant. Now we are proceeding with the plant permanent tissue. All those who loses the ability to divide, that is have become matured. It has been divided into two types, that is simple permanent tissue, and then you can say complex permanent tissue. Are you all getting revised children? What is a simple permanent tissue? Which is made up of only one type of cells, and complex permanent tissue which is made up of more than one type of cells. This simple permanent tissues has been further subdivided. Okay children, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Got it children? Okay, and this complex permanent tissue has been further divided as xylem and phloem, and xylem which has been further divided as you can say as sieve tubes, companions, you can say xylem and phloem. Okay children, I am repeating it once again. I have missed some point. Xylem, which has been further subdivided as tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers, and phloem, which has been further subdivided or made up of the following cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Okay children, have you all got revised? The main motive of this flowchart was to make you aware or to recall all the points which were taught in the last few classes. So children, now we are going through, see it clearly, now we are going through some of the important characteristics of all these plant tissues in detail. You can say that we are going to have a short notes about it. You can going to have a short notes about it. That is the meristematic tissue, that which has the dividing capacity. It is the plant tissue. What is this? It is a plant tissue in which cells are compactly arranged, that is tightly arranged with each other. These cells are immature and have capacity to divide and forms new cells. As 100 of times it has been told by me, only the language has been given to all those things. These tissues are called as meristem. Okay, children? Characteristics of meristematic tissue. What is this? Characteristics of meristematic tissue. The cells are small. What is this? The cells are small, spherical or polygonal. Cell wall is thin and elastic. That is, flexibility is over there. Intercellular spaces are absent. That is, the space between the two cells are absent. That is, they are tightly compact with each other. It has large nucleus. Nucleus size is very large. Cytoplasm is dense. In the cell chapter, you have studied about the cytoplasm, protoplasm and nucleoplasm, children. Here I am using cytoplasm is dense. That is, it is thick. Cell grow and divide fastly. Here the cells grows and divide fastly because it leads to increase in height of the plant. It is a growing region of the plant. Got it clear? Functions. It is helpful for growth of the plant by forming new cells. New organs like stems, leaves, flowers, branches, fruits, etc. are produced. It helps in healing. That is, getting healed up, cured up the injury as new cells are. How it is responsible for healing the injury? Because it is the growing region of the plant. Here the new cells are formed for repairment work, that is wear and tear. Okay, children, have you gone through all these important characteristics of the meristematic tissue? Get it written in your homework copy as the notes. Okay, children, let's proceed. Location of meristem. Depending upon the location of meristem, it has been on the basis of, that is, position in the plant body. Meristematic tissue are of three types. First is apical. It is present on the tips of the stems and roots. It increases the length of the root and stem. Okay, children? I'm not going to repeat it again because only I have made an effort to write all those which has been explained by me in the words in the written form, so you can have it as a notes in your copy and get it learned. As you have understood the chapter in my all the videos, then all these notes will help you to learn it in a better planned way. Then the next meristematic tissue is the lateral meristematic tissue. It is present on the sides of stems and roots. It is of two types, vascular cambium and cork cambium. It produces xylem and phloem. Vascular cambium produces what? Xylem and phloem. And cork cambium produces what? A protective cork, that is the protective layer on the outside. It increases the girth, that is the diameter. I have written it in my own words so that you find it easy to learn. It increases the girth, that is diameter, or we can say thickness of the stem and roots. Okay, children? Now the third type of meristematic tissue on the basis of the position or places where they are present is intercalary. It is present at the base of the leaves, internodes and nodes. It helps in growth of the leaves and the internodes. Okay, children, I think it is clear to all of you, as we have helped, I had explained it with the help of the diagram also. Okay, children, 100 of times I have drawn it. That is, what is this? It is the longitudinal section of shoot apex. Where is apical meristem found is found? Here. Which type of meristem is found? Intercalary. And here, which is responsible for the thickness, that is the lateral meristem. Okay, children, I have given you this diagram in the earlier video. Draw it properly after writing all these notes. Okay, children, now let's proceed. I have explained you right now apical meristem, intercalary and lateral meristem. That is the apical, which is responsible for the length of the plant, intercalary, which is responsible for the branching, and lateral meristem, which is responsible for the increase in girth, that is the diameter of the plant. Now let's children start with the permanent tissue. Okay children, we have discussed and had a short notes in the form of characteristics of the meristematic tissue, that is tissues having the ability to divide. Now we are going to discuss at the permanent tissue. As I have explained you now, then all those meristematic tissues who loses their ability to divide or become matured, almost loses its ability to divide, are called the permanent tissues. These tissues are made up of cells which have lost the ability to divide and have got permanent shape, size and function. They are derived from meristematic tissue. Is it children clear? The characteristics of meristematic tissue. The cells are large and have different shapes. Intercellular spaces are present. There in the meristematic tissue we had discussed that the intercellular space was absent. Here I am saying cells between the two spaces between the two cells are present over there. Large vacuole. Where the nucleus was of very large size, here the large vacuoles are present. Here the vacuole size is very large. These cells do not divide, that is, have attained the maturity stage. They may be living or dead. Types of permanent tissue. It has been divided as simple permanent tissue and permanent tissue, or you can say simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, as it is simple name given. Why? Because it is made up of only one type of cells, similar type of cells. Made up of one type of cells, that is, all the cells are similar in structure and function. Is it clear to you why the simple permanent tissue the name has been given? Is of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. As you know, as you are aware of all the terms, because it has been discussed earlier, only then now I am discussing it in a written form. Orally it has been discussed in the earlier videos, children. Parenchyma, made up of living cells. Cells are thin-walled. Cells are oval, spherical or polygonal. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cells are loosely packed, are not tightly packed. Cells are loosely packed. Cells are loosely packed, having intercellular space. There is space between the two cells, that is, the intercellular space is there. The intercellular, that is in between the two cells, space is available over there. Is it clear? Location. It is present in all parts of the plant, like stem, root, flower, leaves, fruits, seeds and various other places. Okay children? Function. It stores food. It provides support to the softer parts. What does it do? It stores food. It provides support to the softer parts of the plant. It helps in gaseous exchanges, in the exchange of gases. It also stores waste products. Waste products are there not only in the human beings, it are there in the plants also. It is present in xylem and phloem cells. Helps in transportation, or it is present in xylem and phloem, helps in transportation of materials. Now, these parenchyma, when performs, earlier I have discussed that the parenchyma in which chloroplast is present is called chlorenchyma. It helps in photosynthesis, and that is all those parenchyma cells which performs photosynthesis are known as chlorenchyma. And all those parenchyma cells which have large air cavities, that is empty places full of gases, is called arenchyma. That it helps the plant, aquatic plants, to float on the water. That provides buoyancy to the plants. It helps the plants. You see now in the ponds over there or lotus over there floating on the water. It is all due to the parenchyma, which is known as arenchyma, because it is present in the aquatic plants, helps the plant to float in the water. How? Because having the large air cavities full of gases. Okay, children, making it light to float. Collenchyma. The cells are elongated. What does this are? The cells are elongated. The cells have cell wall, which is made up of pectocellulose. What is this pectocellulose? Made up of pectin and cellulose, that is pectin and sugar. What is this pectin? Is a naturally occurring substance found in berries, apples and other fruits. When this pectin is heated with sugar, that is the cellulose, it causes a thickening that is characteristics of jam and jelly. Jam and jellies you see na, that is semi-solid it is. So it is pectocellulose made up of pectin and cellulose. Pectin found in naturally in the various of the fruits such as apples, berries and others, and with the help and when combined with or heated with the sugar, it provides thickening capability to jams and jellies. Due to pectocellulose, the cell wall is unevenly thickened at the corners, that the walls over here are not same at every places. They are unevenly, somewhere it is thin, somewhere it is thick. Okay, children? Location. It is present below the epidermis, that is the protective layer, outermost protective layer of the plant, in the leaf stalk, leaf midrib. That it is the present below the epidermis. It is present below the epidermis. Function. It provides strength and flexibility. Lachilapan. It provides strength and flexibility. Okay, children, have you all understood this? Collenchyma. Now let's proceed. Sclerenchyma, that is fibrous in nature, provides fibrous property to the plants. It is the simple tissue which is made up of dead cells. The cell wall is uniformly thickened. That here you got now, the cell wall is unevenly thickened. That is not thick at all the places. But here you see now that the cell wall is, where it is written, the cell wall is uniformly, that is it is thickened everywhere. Due to the presence of cellulose and lignin. What is this lignin? I have discussed you earlier in the video also. Hard cementing material which makes the cell wall hard. It is a cementing material providing stiffness to the cell wall. Okay, children, got my point? Now move it to the location. It is present in xylem and phloem, covering of seeds and nuts, husk of coconut. You see the outer layer of the coconut, it is fibrous in nature now. It is due to sclerenchyma. Got it point? Questions are asked that nut, husk of coconut, which type of cell is present there? It is sclerenchyma cell which is present over there. Function. It provides strength and forms protective covering around seeds and nuts. It is helpful for making jute, hemp, flax and various other things. Now let's proceed, children. Complex permanent tissue. Earlier we were dealing about the simple permanent tissue. Now we are going to discuss about the complex permanent tissue. Tissue made up of more than one type of cell, that is made up of different types of cells and works together. What is this? Works together to perform a common function is called complex permanent tissue. How many types it is of? Xylem and phloem. It has been discussed with the help of a tree. I had showed you na direction of flow, that is unidirectional and bidirectional. Recall it in the earlier video it has been taught. Xylem, that is a conducting tissue, that it conducts. What does it conduct? Water and minerals with the help of roots from the soil to the different parts of the plant. It is made up of 4 different types of cells. Tracheids. What is this? Tracheids. They are dead cells and have a long vacant space. Walls very thick due to lignin. What is, okay children, I am dealing about complex permanent tissue. Now you are having a knowledge about it. It is one of the type of complex permanent tissue is xylem, and it is made up of various different types of cells, or you can say 4 different types of cells. First one is tracheids. They are dead cells and have a long vacant space. Walls are very thick due to lignin, and I have explained you lignin. It is a cementing material providing rigidity or stiffness to the cell wall. Function: gives support to the plant and helps in conduction of water and minerals. Vessels. It is formed by a number of cells What is this vessel's second type of? You can say xylem tissue. It is formed, vessel is a cell of xylem tissue. It is formed by a number of cells arranged in chains having a single long duct. These are dead cells. Okay, these are dead cells, and functions of the vessels are helps in conduction of water and minerals. Okay, children. Now the third type is xylem fiber. These are long cells having tapering end. That is, the ends are tapered, blunted over there. The cells are dead. Function: it provides support to the plant. It provides mechanical support to the plant. Then fourth type is xylem parenchyma. These are living cells made up of cellulose. Function: this type of sugar, they store food materials and helps in conduction of water. Now let's come to the end of this xylem. Okay, that is one of the, you can say, complex permanent tissue. Function of the xylem: it helps in conduction of water and minerals from roots to all parts of the plant. That is, shows unidirectional flow from the downward to the upward direction. That it shows unidirectional flow from the downward to the upward direction. I had explained you earlier with the help of this diagram. That is from the downward to the upward, because it has to transport water and minerals which are found in the soil with the help of the roots. Okay, children, got it clear? That is what is xylem. It is a complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue made up of various types of cells. That is tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, and the function of the xylem. Okay, children? Okay, children, are you not tired now, children? Let's proceed with the phloem tissue. It is also a conducting tissue because it helps in transportation of the prepared food from the green parts of the plant. That is the food factory of the plant. That is the leaf which prepares food with the help of photosynthesis to be distributed to the various parts of the plant, to the tip, to the bottom of the plant. That is the phloem tissue, which is a conducting tissue, that which conducts, which helps in transportation. It is also made up of various types of cells. 4 types of cells are there. That is the sieve tube. Its cell wall is very thin. It has small pores. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. What is the function of sieve tube? Helps in conduction of food. Okay, helps in transportation of prepared food. Companion cells, another cell. These are living cells which are placed on both sides of sieve tubes. It contains a large nucleus and cytoplasm. Okay, children? Now, the function of that is it helps the sieve tubes in conduction of food. It helps as a helping hand. You can say it is a helping hand of sieve tubes in the conduction of food. Phloem fibers, they are thick cell walled, having simple pits. Small holes are over there. Okay, small chambers, holes over there. Pits are over there. Functions are, what is the functions of the phloem fiber? It provides support. It provides support to the plant. Phloem parenchyma, these are placed along with sieve tubes. Where are phloem parenchyma present? They are present along with the sieve tubes. So, you know, very important sieve tube. One of the, that is the main important role is played by the sieve tubes, as it helps in the conduction of food. Companion cells helps as a helping tissue cell to the sieve tube in the transportation of food. And phloem fiber provides support during all these functions, and phloem parenchyma is present where? Along with the sieve tubes. Function is stores food and helps in transportation of food. Okay, children, now you know, very easy now. That is the phloem tissue which helps in the transportation of food, that is distribution of food from the leaves to the different parts of the plant with the help of various cells. Sieve tubes, which plays an important role in the transportation of food with the help of companion cells, and protection or support is provided with the help with the phloem fibers. And phloem parenchyma is a cell of phloem tissue which helps in storage of food and helps in transportation of food. Okay, children, so easy na, so easy to learn. If you understand it very properly and you listen to my words carefully na, then you will find very easy to learn it. Okay, children, function of phloem. Now we are going to conclude it with the topic function of phloem. It helps in transportation of food, that is distribution of food from the leaves to all parts of the plant in every direction, that is from root to the tip of the plant. Shows upward and downward movement, that is shows bidirectional, because if the food is prepared in the leaf, then this food is needed by the tip of the plant also and by the base of the plant, that is the root development and the tip development both has. So it shows both, you can say it shows both upward as well as at the downward, that is bidirectional movement is shown by it. Okay children, is it clear? All the points are clear to you? Many of the times it has been explained in a very simple words, and it has been written over here in my own words in a very simplified way, so that you find it very easy to learn and get it, or you can say very easy to understand and get it learned very easily. Don't learn it directly, children. First of all, see all my videos and again and again, and you will find it that you don't need my help to learn, to get understood all these points. If you watch it properly, listen to me carefully, you will have all the points in your mind and you will find it to be a very easy to learn all the terms. Okay children, now we have completed till plant tissue. In the next session of this video, we will start with the animal tissue. So don't forget to write it in your fair copy and get it learned, children. Get it learned. What is my basic idea about getting it learned in an easy way? First understand it, first watch the video. Still you are having any problem, ask me, and then write it a number of times and you will find it that all the points are there in your mind. Let's children do some questions over there based on today's class. Name a plant tissue having dead cells. Right now we had discussed, children. Are you getting the answer in your mind? Name a plant tissue having dead cells. Sclerenchyma. Which tissue in plant provides them flexibility? Which tissue in the plant provides them flexibility? Collenchyma. Which tissue makes up husk of the coconut? Fibrous tissue I have discussed you now, and while discussing I told you it is a very important one. Sclerenchyma. What is lignin? Lignin is a chemical substance in plants which acts as a cement and hardens them. What is a lignin? As a cementing material, providing stiffness to the plant or cell wall. How are simple tissue different from the complex tissue in plants? Okay children, how are it different from the complex tissue? What is the question? Simple tissue different from the complex. Simple tissue made up of one type of cells and complex made up of more than one type of cells, and it has been further subdivided. On that basis you can differentiate them. Write the differences between xylem and phloem. What are the differences between xylem and phloem? Very simple children, very simple. Xylem in the transportation of water and minerals, unidirectional, and phloem, that is conducting tissue, transportation of food prepared from the leaves to the different parts of this plant, that is shows bidirectional movement. Differentiate between parenchyma, sclerenchyma tissue on the basis of cell. Point to be noted. Differentiate between parenchyma and sclerenchyma tissue on the basis of cell. Very easy to differentiate. Okay children? Parenchyma cells are thin-walled. Sclerenchyma cells are thick. Parenchyma cells are made up of living cells. Sclerenchyma, recall it, are made up of dead cells. Got the children point? Answer all these questions in your own words. Okay children? And get it done in your copy. And write all the notes. And complete the work. Okay, we will meet again in the next session with the animal tissue.